Hello YouTube, Totalhenry here, and I was just at New York Comic Con this past weekend. As of filming this, I'm filming this on a Thursday, October 13th, and this past weekend, I was at New York Comic Con. So for those of you watching in the future, that was October 7th and October 8th, Friday and Saturday. These were my passes. I have them attached together so I can just I save all my Comic-Con passes. So anyway, I'm going to be showing off all the manga and comics that I bought at the convention. I went a little bit crazy, but that's to be expected. So I'm going to start with the American comics, and then I'm going to move on to the manga, and then I have something else for the end of the video. So the first book I got is Slaughterhouse-Five. This is a comic book adaptation of the famous novel by Kurt Vonnegut. I have not read the original novel. I feel like maybe this was a stupid thing to buy, and I should just read the original novel. But I did read Fahrenheit 451 by Ray Bradbury as a comic book first, and that's what got me to read the novel. So I figure, what the hell? So I'll probably read this and then immediately go and read the novel. I'm expecting to like the novel. I don't know if this is going to do the novel justice. I'm not super familiar with Kurt Vonnegut's work, but I think this is the only book that I feel a little like I'm not exactly sure why I bought it. Might have just been better to read the novel, but anyway, I am sort of looking forward to reading it because it is a famous novel. Then these next two books were sort of blind buys. I just thought they looked cool. The Death of Captain America, Burden of a Dreams, I think it says. I just thought this looked cool. From reading the back, I think Captain America, he already died, or I don't think he's dying in this issue. Admittedly, I don't know a lot about Captain America. This is, I think this will be the first ever Captain America comic book, like solo Captain America comic book that I've ever read. He's appeared as a character in other books I've read, but I've never picked up a book specifically for Captain America until just now. I don't know. He just never seemed that cool to me. He just never really stood out compared to other Marvel heroes like Spider-Man or Wolverine, or even like Daredevil. I don't know. I've also never seen any of the movies, so I don't know. Maybe I'll become a Captain America fan after this. Let me know in the comments section if you have any recommendations for just anything in general, but I guess, specifically now I'm asking for Captain America comic recommendations. Then this was another blind buy. I bought this at the same booth that I bought the Captain America comic. Khazar, the Burning Season. I recognize the female character. I think she's something known as like the She-Devil. Shana the She-Devil. Yeah, so I don't really know what to make of this. I guess this is another book that falls into the category of why did I buy it? I don't know. I thought it looked kind of cool. Figured why not? Instead of getting my huge, I didn't want to buy like Batman or Spider-Man comics while I was at the convention because I read those two characters all the time. So I thought maybe I should try something a little bit different. And speaking of different, Earth 2, Volume 1, New 52. I think I said this in the last manga haul or comic haul I did. I will have uploaded a manga haul right before this video. Hopefully you guys will see this soon. I said I'm recording this on October the 13th. Hopefully it's not too many days later that this is finally uploaded to YouTube. But anyway, yeah, I like New 52 books, even though they're, like 10 years old. I still feel like they're kind of an interesting way to They're a good way to introduce yourself to a character. Some of them can be pretty cheap now. And, this was volume 1. And as I just said, I like New 52, so I figured, why not try it? Sort of looks like a Justice League type thing. I think I don't really know much about it, so kind of a blind buy. Then I got 3 issues of this comic book series called No Heroine, and I got it signed here by the artist and the colorist. So at the top, there's 2 names Mad, and that's because it's a father-daughter team. And I got volume 2 and volume 3, or not volume, issue. These are single issues. So part of the reason I bought this was the artist, his name is Chris Mad. I've been lucky enough to meet him at New York Comic Con for the last few years. And every single time I've gone, he has looked at my own drawings, he's looked at my own work and given me a lot of really nice feedback. And we became friends over Facebook, and every now and then he will answer some of my questions, and I'll get to, just talk to him about art and comics, and he's been very, very nice to me. So that's part of the reason why I decided to buy these, just to support him. And I'd seen him post art from the series on Facebook, and I was a little bit curious about it. So, yeah, I don't really know what this is about. After I bought it, I looked up like a summary, or not a summary, but like the blurb that you would see on like the back of a book online. I don't remember what I read, so I'm basically going to be going into these issues blind. I think his daughter told me that this is like a complete series, or like this is like, I guess maybe the end of the first like story arc or something. These 3 issues. Yeah, I don't know. The art looks kind of cool from the covers. I think this is something that I'm really looking forward to reading, just because, as I said, I know this artist. He's been very, very kind to me with his time and his advice. So this will be the first time I've ever read one of his works. Then I got Jonah Hex. I hope I'm saying that right. This is a DC showcase. Basically, all the comics in here are black and white. I don't know anything about this character. I do like the DC and Marvel showcase, or whatever it's called, for whatever Marvel calls their own line of these products, where they just sort of package the comics in black and white, and they're usually much older comics. I prefer comics in black and white. I just like the way it looks compared to when you add color. And I read the back a little bit, but I really don't know anything about this character. It's just, as I said, I like these showcase things. I like reading old comics. I like black and white comics. And overall, it looked pretty cool, and I wanted to get, different comics aside from the usual, Batman and Superman stuff that I read. So, this is another. I'm trying not to say I'm looking forward to reading it for every single book, but I think this is something that I'm curious to just. I don't know if I'm gonna like it or not. It looks cool. Then I got Absolute Carnage, the trade-in. I don't know how many. This is pretty old, I think. I got the first issue like a year or 2 ago, and I read it. I thought it was fantastic, and I went back to the comic book store, the local comic book store I have, and I could never find the next issue. So when I saw this at the convention, I thought, I need to. I don't know if I thought I need to buy this. I really want to know what happens in the story. I remember loving the first issue. Yeah, so I'm really excited about this, because it's like I can finally I'd almost forgotten that I had read the first issue, and then when I saw this sit on the table, I was like, oh my god. Next book I got is Harley Quinn. This is volume 3. I believe this is a New 52 thing. It doesn't say it on this book, but I have volumes 1 and 2, and I think they say New 52. Here's the back and the artists. Hopefully you can read this. Yeah, so I read, as I said, I have the first 2 trade-ins for this series, and I thought it was really funny. I thought it was fantastic. My friend, who's also really into comics and knows more about it than me, says they changed Harley Quinn's character, and he didn't like it because of that. I don't know what the general consensus is on this series, but I really liked these Harley Quinn comics because there was like no, it's not that there was no plot, but it was like irreverent. It was just out there and super, super weird and funny compared to, like, again, the Batman and Superman and Justice League stuff where there's like very plot heavy. This was, breaking the fourth wall. It was just like super goofy and super fun, and it just felt like such a breath of fresh air. Whether or not they ruined Harley Quinn's character, I don't know. I'm not an expert on Harley Quinn. But yeah, I really enjoyed these. And I'm expecting to enjoy volume 3. I don't know how many volumes there are. Then I got a bunch of Avatar comics. I don't know which one of these comes first. I got Smoke and Shadow, and then North and South. Plus I got 2 sort of smaller, I want to say these might be like, I don't know if they're side stories, but Toph's Metal Bending Academy and Suki Alone. I mean, I think these small ones are still canon, but just compared to, like, they're not like the big ones and the like a bigger length story. Anyway, all that aside, I have been slowly going through the Avatar comics, from The Search, The Promise, The Rift, and I just love these so much. It just, every time I read it, it makes me want to watch the show again, and I'm reminded just how much I love these characters and this universe. And when I saw both of these, I remembered, oh, I don't have these, and usually I would only buy one, but they were sitting right next to each other, and I was like, I can't pass this up. And then the next day, I went back to the same booth. I wasn't expecting to buy these, but I just thought, you know what? These are more Avatar comics, even if they're not necessarily canon, which I do think they are. It will still be fun to read. I enjoy the art in these series. Again, it reminds me of the show, and whether the Mike DiMartino and Brian Komitsko, the creator of Avatar, they've done a fantastic job with these comics. Also, the Korra comics, the Legend of Korra comics. I think I have all the Legend of Korra comics that are out. Yeah, just, I haven't been paying much attention to the new Avatar. I think there's going to be a TV show, a new TV show or movie. But, like, the comics are just absolutely fantastic. I think I'm going to go back and reread The Search and The Promise and everything before I get into these new books. I like to be able to, like, reread them in chronological order, just so I can get, like, just so I can remember everything and sort of, like, re-immerse myself into the world. I have this crazy idea that I would, when I get all of the comics, and I know they continually print them, or they continually come up with new ones, but when I get, like, all of, like, I think, I'm going to call these, like, the main ones, I feel like I should watch the show again. Then once I finish the show, jump into the comics, then watch Legend of Korra, and then read the Legend of Korra comics in just, like, a short span of time, like, a month or two, or however long it takes me to do it, and just, like, re-immerse myself into that world. Now, the last American comic I got is Batman Damned. It's a big book. hopefully you can. I never know if you're able to read this, if I'm holding it close enough to the screen or not, but whatever. You can always Google it yourself. Google it yourself. I bought this because the art inside is absolutely amazing. I don't think I've ever seen art this good in a comic book. Like, it kind of reminds me of Alex Ross in how realistic it is, but there's something about it. I can't really explain it. It's really dark. It sort of looks like it's painted. I don't know who. I don't know which one of these guys is the artist. I read one other book that this artist made. I don't remember. But yeah, like, as soon as I saw the cover, I recognized the artist, and I flipped through it, and I thought, this is beautiful. I didn't even read the back. Like, I still have not yet read the back. The Joker's Dead, I read that, but like, I'm going into this completely blind, and like, even if the story is bad, like, the art is so good that I'm probably gonna love it anyway. Okay, now on to the manga, something I know a little bit more about. So, the first book I got is Sailor Moon, Volume 2. This is the Naoko Takeuchi collection. I don't know what that means. I think it's just maybe the size of the volume. So I bought Volume 1. I'm sure I showed it off in the video a few months ago, and I still haven't read Volume 1, but I'm expecting to like Sailor Moon, so I went and got Volume 2. And I guess it will also give me, 2 volumes worth of material to decide if I like it and how much I want to keep reading it, and if I want to collect the other volumes. I don't know if Volume 3 is out. It probably is. But I've been wanting to read Sailor Moon for a long time, and I just like reading classic manga, and this is like as classic as it gets. Then, speaking of, blind buys, Hoshi Engi, Volume 1. I mean, this is... I've read the back of this several times, and I still don't really get it. I still don't really know what it's about. All I know is that this is like an old Shonen Jump manga, an old... Like, I used to see ads for this in the back of, like, when Viz Media used to print ads in the back of the book. I used to see ads for this all the time when I was reading, like, the weekly Shonen Jump magazine that Viz would actually, like, mail to your house and, like, the subscription. So, like, I always knew about the series, and it's only recently, as I've had a little bit more money and I've been buying a lot of stuff, that I thought maybe I should check this out. And I saw it for $5, and I thought, initially I thought no, and then the next day I came by and it was still there, and I was like, why not? So I don't know how many volumes are in the series, 19, 20, I don't know, something like that. I think I might read this and then read more online and decide if I like it or not, if I want to buy it. I had something else to say about that, but I forget. Then I got Dr. Stone, Volume 20, 21, and 22. So I am currently reading Dr. Stone. My local library had like the first 17 volumes, so I would just go to the library every week and grab the next volumes I needed to read. But once I got to the end of the volumes that they had, I've basically just stopped reading. Every now and then I will remember, and I'll go to Viz Media and try and, and read more chapters. But the point is, I just have a really hard time focusing and reading when it's online. I like having a physical book. So when I saw these, I realized that this is basically right where I am in the series. I think the chapter I'm on is like the end of volume 20. So I have, 2 new volumes worth of material to read. I know the series is over. I think it ended at 25 volumes. So part of me wants to just buy the rest of the volumes because, as I said, I like reading the physical volumes. But even if I don't, three more volumes, that's not a lot. Maybe I'll just power through it online. But I'm really excited to read these. I think Dr. Stone is a lot of fun. I really love the art in this. I think that's the thing I love most about Dr. Stone is Boichi. Hope I'm pronouncing that right. His art is just absolutely fantastic. Then I have Love Sickness by Junji Ito. I think this is just a bunch of short stories. So I am not a fan of horror. Like I don't think I've ever seen a horror movie just because I know that I would not enjoy it. I would watch Five Nights at Freddy's videos, like playthroughs by like Nate Wants to Battle years ago, and I would get scared. Like that's the kind of scaredy cat I am. But that being said, I've read Uzumaki by Junji Ito. I've seen his Naoki Urasawa Manben episode. For those of you who don't know, Naoki Urasawa does a Japanese show where he talks to manga artists, and I saw the episode with Junji Ito. So I have a huge respect for Junji Ito and his work. I love the art. I think it's fantastic. I'm a scaredy cat. And I have Junji Ito's Frankenstein. It's been sitting on my bookshelf for like a year. I still haven't read it. So when I saw the shelf at this at Comic-Con, I think it was like Midtown Comics booth with all of these Junji Ito books. I don't know. I thought maybe I would get another one. This Junji Ito is not a creator that I'm expecting or I necessarily want to own all of their work, but I am, because I think he is really good at what he does. It's just the subject matter is not necessarily my cup of tea. So I think I need to read these two books, Frankenstein that I bought before and Love Sickness, and maybe decide. I don't know, maybe every now and then I'll pick up a Junji Ito book, but yeah, I'm just a scaredy cat, and I like to read before I go to bed. I'm not going to be reading these books before I go to bed. I need to be reading them in the middle of the day when it's sunny. I'm 25, almost 26, and yeah, I'm just a little scared. Then I got JoJo's Part 4. So my friend in college introduced me to JoJo's, and at the time I'd never read it, and I finished Part 3. I finished Part 3. God, it's been a few years since then, and I just never really felt rushed or just felt like, oh, I need to immediately go and read Part 4. But it was always on my radar. It was always in the back of my mind, like at some point I need to read Part 4 because I really enjoyed the first 3 parts, and my friend keeps telling me that it gets better and better, and all the parts are great. And I started thinking, well, maybe I should just buy volume 1 of Part 4, because as I've said multiple times, I like reading the physical volumes more than online, and this would sort of help me get into it, help me start it. So yeah, volume 1. Some of you who watch my videos, which is like 10 people, thank you. I have been buying some JoJo volumes lately. I bought a couple volumes of Part 2 and Part 3, so I have a lot of JoJo stuff to read. I'm missing a couple volumes from Part 2 and Part 3, but now I have volume 1 of Part 4, so yeah. I don't really know what to expect. I think my friend told me this is more of a slice of life thing. Like, it's not like Part 3 with a long plot. I'm kind of talking out of my ass right now. So then the final manga that I bought, and this might be what I'm most excited about, is I bought a bunch of volumes of Eyes. So I'm going to talk as I show these off. Eyes is a 15-volume manga series. It's out of print and really hard to find. I already had volume 1, but I was able to find a bunch of volumes, each of these for $5. So I got 2. I couldn't find volume 3, but I got volume 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Couldn't find 9. I got 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. I'm missing 15. So I'm missing volume 3, 9, and 15. I don't know which ones are super expensive, which ones are, the most out of print, the most expensive. I'm hoping it's not one of those volumes that I'm missing, but I was, I read volume 1 and I thought it was good. I thought it was okay. And I figured maybe at some point I'll buy volume 2. This was not a series I was in a huge rush to buy. But when I saw all these books in this bin for $5, I found one of them, and then I kept looking through these bins, and I was like, here's another one, here's another one, here's another one, here's another one. I couldn't believe it, and I just felt like I have to buy this, because this feels like my best chance to own the series. And even though this was not a series that I felt I needed to buy, it was just too good of a deal to pass up. Given how expensive I believe some of these volumes are, and how, the retail price for these was $8. So I was, already buying them cheaper than retail. So I kind of want to stop buying stuff because I've been spending a lot of money, but I might have to, once I start reading these, I might look on Amazon, look on eBay, and see if I can find the other volumes for fairly cheap. I don't mind buying manga for over cover price. I'd rather not, but I have. So I don't know. If anyone knows what volumes are really, really expensive, I hope it's not the last volume. I hope that volume's not super expensive. I don't know. Let me know in the comment section. But yeah, I still can't believe that I found all these volumes, and for such a good deal. And it made my backpack very heavy, and I had to, walk around the convention. I had to be at the convention. So then the last two things that I have to show you are not actually books. I don't know if I've ever said this on my channel, but I'm not really a huge fan of figures. Like, I prefer, my fandom is just more talking about anime and manga, is the manga and the actual books. Buying figures and other sort of knickknacks, or doing cosplay, that's not really my thing. That being said, I do think some figures look kind of cool, and I did buy some figures. So I bought this Zorro figure, shiny box. So I will point out that the dent right here is from me when I was, I had to put this in my backpack, and so I could carry everything on the bus. So it was not like that when I bought it. I will be taking this out of the box in case some people were wondering. So I have this Zorro figure, and then I have this glitter and glamour Nico Robin figure. I like Nami more than Robin. I mean, don't get me wrong, Robin's super cool, but the Nami figures were a little too risque. So, we will just leave it like that. So I thought it would be really, really cool if I opened these on cameras, because as you can see, I've yet to take them out of their box. So I think what I'm going to do is, I haven't decided. I think I'm going to do have a time-lapse section in this video or my plan is I'm going to have a time-lapse section in this video where you see me take them out and possibly build them, or I think you have to build them to some extent, and then I'll wrap up the video. But I think I'll also have a separate video where it's real-time me building these, in case you want to see that. So let's get to it. Ta-da! So I built the figures, and yeah, as I said, I hope I edit this correctly, but there should have been some sort of like time lapse thing so you could see me building these. I filmed that as a separate video, so I think I will try and upload that as its own video. I don't know how interesting it's gonna be. Just me trying to figure out how to get Zolo built and just kind of complaining about that. Yeah, but anyway, that was my New York 2022 comic book haul, my passes. And yeah, so bought a lot of comics, bought a lot of manga. Super excited to have eyes. And now I have these two figures that I'm going to have to, maybe I'll put them next to Pikachu over there. But yeah, I hope you guys like this video. I'm always thinking about uploading more art videos, but these videos are just easy to film, and when I keep buying stuff, they're just kind of fun to make. So that is it. That is the video. Thank you guys for watching, and these are my new figures.